Hey guys and gals, this is your host Joe. Thanking you for coming by another travel vlog on Life with Joseph. This is the 9th of October 2023. This will be Longball 23 Extravaganza number 5, I think. And I'm going to mention straight up, I did yesterday, that today is a 2-year anniversary of Chico crossing the Rainbow Bridge. I said this yesterday. Now, between the anniversary and the tournament for my cousin, my late brother's birthday yesterday, and Chico today. Well, I'm telling you, I'm striving to live my best life every day. I miss my boy. I got about a 4.5-minute video of just him that I'll link to in the comments. So, I miss him. My wife misses her boy. He's on the table in the living room, though. My wife and I talk to him every day. We talk about him all the time. We're never truly dead until we're forgotten. Remember that, people. That's about all the morbid philosophy for this morning. I'm in Carson City. I'm heading down. Oh, the stoplight here. I'm going down to Fandango this morning to have lunch with my cousin or my brother, whatever. I decided at the time, Paul, and his wife, Erin, my sister-in-law, Erin. They're really good people, and we're going to have some fellowship today, 10 o'clock. I forgot to film my chicken fried steak. It was scrumptious, and
it's gone.
It's gone. And then Georgina was my Keno runner today, and though I played 3 games and won $1, I did tip her a bit because she was really fun, and it made my visit here to the Fandango better. So there you go. This is the famous Kit Kat, and it caught fire a couple of weeks ago. I saw a TV clip, and Central Lyon Fire responded. So, boy, this is something you don't see every day. And here you go. Our next stop of the morning finds us at the border of the United States of America and the Republic of Molossia. This is on Mary Lane in Lyon County, Nevada, in the Dayton area. There's another part of it in Southern California and a part of it in Northern California. The president is named Kevin Baugh. B-A-U-G-H. I'll put the website on in the descript. I'm going to film here. Now, this place had rung a bell. I was in my vague memory. You see the border? They do have some type of tour or something, but they don't. You don't show up, just show up, and people do live here, so we're going to be reasonably respectful, standing out in the street on the public easement. But this is the Republic of Molossia. So here's another couple of signs. There's a brochure, and there aren't any, but here's the independent sovereign nation. There you go. Molossian passport and stuff. Here's the customs office. Now, you're probably thinking, dude, you know, what's the real deal here? And, you know, I don't know, really. It's just, you know, but, you know, God love you, he got me to drive out here. And, oh, here's our visitor parking and the seal of the Republic of Molossia. But, you know, I'm going to tell you, how do you think nations are formed? You know, you declare yourself a nation, and that's fine, but it's only when another nation recognizes that, oh, this is a monster to get in. Oops, shit. Didn't mean that. Sorry, dudes. Here we go. Hold on a second. There we go. It's a hassle to get in this thing sometimes. You know, when the United States, when Great Britain surrendered, and I think I'll put in a clip of Surrender Field here just because. Surrender Field is where the British Army laid their weapons down in a big pile, and they went home in disgrace. So, when the United States declared itself a sovereign nation, you know, when were we a sovereign nation? Well, damn it, the first nation, as I understand it, to recognize us as a nation was Morocco. So, you know, I guess you're a nation when somebody recognizes that you're a nation. So there you go. So, another couple of minutes here, I'm going to pan. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. This is kind of east of more a traditional Dayton. I'm going to get back on US 50. I'm going to head east, and we'll see what's next. You'll probably see some road footage. We'll see. Our next stop of the day finds us at Lake Lahontan. It's actually more the reservoir now. This was built, this is behind Lahontan Dam. Excuse me, built in 1905. This is part of the Newlands project. That was, I believe, the first or one of the first projects by the newly formed Bureau of Reclamation. I talked about Derby Dam last year. Which diverts water out here to Fallon and the Fallon area. It diverts water out of the Truckee River. There was an ancient Lake Lahontan back in the Ice Age that covered a lot of northwestern Nevada. So it's a beautiful day. My God, I talked to my wife. You know, the Bluetooth phone and everything is just awesome. So, our next, I have our next stop or two in mind, and we'll see what's next. I skipped some road footage. We're at the intersection of US F50 and US F50A. It's an important stop, and you'll see it right here. Our next stop of the day finds us at the alternate US 50 intersection in Churchill County, Nevada. And I'm getting out right here and filming this because last year when I was in Fernley on the way out to my cousins in Elko, I mentioned at the roundabout how at alternate US 50 was the part of the Lincoln Highway when the Lincoln Highway split. And it splits literally right here. The 50 alternate meets up in Fernley with what turned into the Victory Highway, and I talked about that. And so both of these roads are the Lincoln Highway, but I'm going to head on alternate 50 towards Fernley, because there's a stop in a town called, or I guess a ghost town called Hazen, and we're gonna go there next. So we'll see what's next. Our next stop of the day finds us in Hazen, which is in Churchill County, Nevada. Hazen was founded in 1903. It was on, at the time, you know, there is traffic, on the Southern Pacific line, same line that went to Yerington and Hawthorne and all that. This is the famous Hazen Market. I want to think there was a movie. I'm going to look this up, but I'll text it in, so I'm sure that I know what I'm talking about. But it seems to me there's a movie that I remember seeing that was started here. One or two, I'm not sure. You know, I think it was Pink Cadillac, but don't hold me to that. I'm gonna look though. I'm gonna see if I know or not. But I'm gonna walk down here, film a couple of the other historic buildings. Hazen is named after an assistant, a support officer to General William Tecumseh Sherman. Hazen served on the March to the Sea, where our army killed treasonous slaveholders and burned their land. I had no problem with this. So let me walk down to the marker. God, it's a beautiful day. You know I love to sit and walk and talk at the same time. It's about all I can do these days. So you see the truck, you see the locomotive, you see the market. There's an old sign that used to be there. This, like many railroad towns, was a rough and tumble place back in the day. Let me get Mr. Hazen's name. William Babcock Hazen. So this is also right around the time of the Newlands the Newlands project by the Bureau of Reclamation. The roundhouse was built here in 1906. In 1908, Hazen was pretty much burned down by fire. The last lynching in Nevada took place here when Red Wood was drug out of the jail and hung on February 28th of 1905. So this is our stop at Hazen. I wanted to stop here. I wasn't able to work it in on any of the earlier drives, but we're working it in today. So we'll see what's next. On the trip that we went on when we rode up Mount McClellan outside of Carson, and I talked about that on the last clip, somewhere to the east of here in the 50s was an earthquake, and there were faults opened up. It's the Fallon quake. I want to say 1954, but I'll look it up to make sure. Well, because I'm full of hubris, Rich and Charlie and I are staying at Paul and the family's cabin. I gotta lean here, I'm exhausted. In Tahoe. So we stayed up there for a few days, and my wife did too, and we did some riding. So I decided, hey, let's go out to the earthquake faults. Well, this is 1992 probably, 91 or 92, I think it was 91. And it was October, so we ride. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I think, fuck, it's gotta be obvious. Well, we ride out here, and I'll pip in our, it's east of here, and I'm heading east, so I'll see if there's a sign or not. But we go off the road, and we're on this road, and I think, my God, it should be obvious. Well, apparently it wasn't obvious to me. And in a recent look at the map, it wasn't obvious. So nevertheless, we ride on some dirt, and these two guys look at me and say, do you even know where you're going? And I had to say, well, dude, I thought it was here. No, I don't. So it's like, okay, well, we're going to head back. It's late. And so we're riding back on 50. And I guess Charlie and Rich need to go to the bathroom. Well, bluntly, I do too. So, so we pull into a parking lot here. We're riding our bikes. Rich is on his XT, and Charlie and I are on our KLRs. And they go in. Well, I'm married. They're not. And I'm thinking, my wife was raised really conservatively, and I just didn't want to go into a brothel married. I didn't think it was right. Well, I'm standing out in front waiting, and maybe it's 20 minutes, and the two courtesans and the house mom or the madam, and out here in the rural, usually the madam, the house mom, and the bartender are all the same person a lot of the time. So the two courtesans stick their head out, and the house mom, and they say, oh, you can come in, we don't bite, it's okay, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, please come in and sit with your friends. And I think, well, okay. So I go in, and one of the courtesans goes in the back, and the other courtesan kind of sits with us. Now, I told her right up front, I said, I'm not interested in your services. And it's okay, there's nobody else there, so we're shooting the shit. And it turns out, in a place like this out in the boonies, we're close to Fallon Naval Air Station. Now I'm going to pan, or I'm going to show a little here, because it's God's country. And the Naval Air Station is in Fallon. Now you would think, my God, it's in the middle of the desert, but where else are you going to do, fighter planes? A Top Gun moved out here. This is where Top Gun is now. Well, it wasn't in 1992, but nevertheless, the courtesan that I'm talking to, and the madam explained that, this is a bar. It's got a pool table and, the typical rural bar stuff. And they both said that a lot of the personnel, the airmen and such, come out here just to drink in the bar. I mean, they don't all buy the services of the courtesans, but they come and drink in the bar and shoot pool, and they're kind of far enough away to where maybe, if they get a little rowdy, they don't get too rowdy. No one's gonna bother you out here. And bluntly, if you do, they shoot you and bury you in the desert. You get the 9-county treatment. So we sat at the bar, and we had sodas, and it was really a pleasant experience, and I'm glad that I went in. So it was late, and we rode home or back to Tahoe, and I told my wife, I said, I didn't want to walk in, and she just looked at me and laughed and said, dude, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So, God love my wife, Freya, show my wife a favor on the hunt. So this is my story about salt wells, and I will say that I have both Rich and Charlie's permission to name them and telling this story. If I would not have had their permission, I would not have told their involvement and why I'm stopping here outside of filming what it used to be. So in 5 minutes and 35 seconds of nonsense, we're done here. We're moving on, and our next stop will be Middlegate, and we'll see what's next. Now, on our way out to the earthquake fault, I'm going to pip in right here. We're in the playa, and Charlie and Rich and I decided, hey, let's see how fast these bikes go. Now, I've said this in the past, but Rich's XT is really more of a dirt bike with lights, while our 650 KLRs were more gentleman's fire trail, maybe the occasional single track, but a different type of dual sport. Now they're called adventure bikes, and it's okay. So Rich's bike probably 85 to 90 at the most. So he starts dropping behind a little bit. So Charlie and I are like full tucks, side to side, almost 100 miles an hour. Now, I'm 50 pounds heavier than him at the time, and I'm sure it's a lot more now, but and we have the same bike. We bought it at the same time, but mine seemed to run better, and I was able to pull away, not in hand, in command, but I started to pull away a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 bike lengths at the most, and I got it, I think, almost, if not up to 100. Because it seems to me, I remember telling these guys, I won't own a bike that won't go 100 miles an hour. Well, it turned out that the Honda 250 Reflex didn't go 100, and I had the Yamaha Majesty, the 400, up to at least, in fact, I had it with the turncoat on the back to a 95, so I think it would easily go to 100. So anyway, I'm going to pip in a little bit of this here, and we're, here you can see it if I have a problem. So we did do a top end run out here. We're going to see Sand Mountain up here on the left, and we're going to Middlegate, and we'll see what's next.